what does the man say? He says, "What's going on?" in that kind of a tone, doesn't he? Sorry, D isn't here again. He'll be lurking around in the background at some point, I'm sure. But you are stuck with me, Hambo. We've also got Lou on. Hi, Lou.
How you doing, man?
We've met for the first time just ago. So yeah, that'll we'll just bond as we talk. It'll be fine. But anyway, yeah. Look, let's focus on the positives of the game. We won it. It was 1-0 Palace against Stockport County of League One. Really strong start. 5 good minutes. Good goal from Eze. Great finish. And then I think basically what happened after that was we got pretty bored pretty quickly. It was an interesting bit of there was a tactical battle out there. Challoner set up Stockport really to kind of almost go man for man at times, really sort of nullified what we did pretty well. And they were just looking for that opportunity on the break over the top. And honestly, we didn't really have too many ideas or too much impetus around doing any better. But there's a few things to talk about. There's definitely a bit to talk about around team selection, I think, and some of those player performances. But what was your overall feeling watching it?
I think the first 15 minutes. I don't think they really touched the ball. I thought it was playing all right. I thought Kamada was doing well in the middle. I know everyone probably saw Stockport and expected Nketiah, he's going to score 2-3 goals, but they're going to sit in. There's not really going to be much space. You could see straight away how frustrated he was and how much he was trying to get involved, which I think when Nketiah tries to too much, it looks really bad. So I think that probably didn't help. Gahey was a bit iffy today, a few loose passes. I think honestly, I wouldn't hyperanalyze this. I'd just look forward to the fourth round draw and the fact that we're in it.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. And there are some things in there that you basically touched on, things that I wanted to talk about today. Excuse me. And I think Nketiah is one for sure. I think we learned a lot about him as a lone striker today. You're right. He was so desperate for a goal. The Lerma chance towards the end, where he could have just played it square to him. You saw the anger on his face when the ball didn't come, and when the chance had gone. He's just desperate for a goal. I think that's a single-minded thing that you want in a striker. But when you are overthinking, over-trying, when he ran with the ball, when he sort of drove at defenders, when he sort of got his head up, he was, good strengths at times. Actually played really well, certainly in spells in the second half in particular. But we weren't really giving him any kind of service until the end. But I do want to start, if I may, and you can see that there's people calling in. Already. I don't know if D's calling in himself. I don't think he is. I think he's just lurking. But look, we've got to talk about Kamada, haven't we? Because obviously the detractors will immediately say we played League One opposition. He's of course he looked good. Of course he looked a tidy player. But for me, comfortably our best player today. I think it kind of did highlight some of his weaknesses in some senses because he was a lot of quick passing, quick movement, looked very, very tidy, some really good vision, but I don't think he drove us forward enough at times. But that's probably because we chose to play him in the centre of the midfield rather than giving Eze a rest and playing him in the 10. But what was good and bad for you this week?
I think he was really good in the first half. He played that really nice flick round the corner to Klein, which was great awareness. Not a lot of our players can see that pass. I think he's technically better than Lerma. So just he kept the ball ticking. Like I said, I think it was. I know people wanted loads of goals, but I was quite content with us not getting out of second gear and just keeping the ball. Because there's a lot of the Palace games I watch, the other team has the ball after for 60-70% of the possession. That's how it's been this season. So it was nice and controlled the first half. It was boring, but the game before us was Tamworth versus Spurs. Spurs are better than us. Tamworth are in the National League, and they couldn't even score till extra time. It's what happens in the FA Cup. And also sometimes when you play against certain oppositions, you will naturally lower your game. It just happens. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's so true.
you know, 4-5-0. It's
yeah. I mean, when the early goal goes in, and that's I'll put Andy's comment up there. Really, when the early goal goes in, that's where your mind goes, isn't it? Okay, we could get an absolute hatful here. You know, Nketiah's going to get 3 or 4. He's going to get the confidence right up, and we're going to see the kind of squad that we're using. Giving some minutes to people who are going to play their way into some confidence, get some real competition for places going, and you start thinking that way. But you're quite right. Sometimes you get dragged down as much as other people raise their game, and I do think that early goal, as Andy is asking, I do think that was a bit of a tricky thing because at that point you're 1-0 up at home against a team that Louis Barry has been their best player in terms of getting goals this season. Villa are just taking him back. They've cancelled the loan because they could, so they've taken that out of the team. So arguably their biggest goal threat's gone, and they've really got to raise their game to get something against us. So we're able to cruise a little bit, and it did feel like we were doing that. Like you say, yeah, kind of happy at the end because we won the game and we didn't have to get out of second gear. But there's an element of fortune in that as well. We could have got punished for being a little bit slow. Tim's waiting in the background. He'll put us right on everything. He's going to have about, he's shaking his head, but lies. Let's get him on. Hey, Tim.
Hey guys, how are we? That's a nervy one. that was not convincing.
Not fun.
No, not fun. Unconvincing. But I do want to give a shout out to, at least here on the U.S. feed, the Stockport fans were singing. They were loud. They showed up. I mean, that's great. You like to see a good away end, especially coming in, and they did. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Stockport were very good, but they did come to fight. They did set up to try and get something out of this game, to the point that you both made. And, I mean, they could have punished us. They really could have. There were a lot of mistakes, particularly along the back line, which was deeply frustrating. I thought I can't remember a game where he was worse than he was today. He was poor today. But I don't want to focus too much on that. I think on this channel, we have rightly given a lot of criticism to Kamada. He doesn't deserve it today. I think he was the most... He's at least one of the most creative players we had. He's continually looking to get the ball forward. He's coming, showing up for it, turning. Sometimes the passes were a little too cute, but he was, I mean, balls into the area, a lot of them came from Kamada today.
Yeah. Shout out Matt Turner for that save as well, because he didn't have much to do, and that was a great save.
This is what, thank you for saying that, because I'm loath to say it, because I think the Palace fan base is largely, and I'm mindful of the fact that I've watched Turner for years because he's been our #1 goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team. So I rate Turner, but I rate him as a U.S. men's goalkeeper. But what I thought he wasn't getting enough credit for, Louis, is that we know that, I mean, at least as a U.S. fan, I know he's terrible with his feet. I also know his distribution is not that great. But he can make a save, and he also makes clutch saves. He's done that a lot for the U.S. team, and he did that today. But he also does, he does the clanger that we saw that almost, and I can't tell if that's him or if that's Mark. Somebody's got to call it, and nobody calls it, and then they clang into each other. So,
well, on Mark Gay, that's a really interesting one, because what we saw today was, Riyad coming back after a long time out, playing 90 minutes, didn't he? Got really surprised and doing pretty well. But the reason he's played on the left side of the back three is because he's Mark Gay's replacement. That's what he was signed for.
Yeah.
So you're basically seeing us give Riyad the position, and Mark Gay has to go and play on the right side. Well, play sort of more central. I think it was right side actually in the end, wasn't it? Because I think Richards was central.
Yep.
And yeah, he really did struggle. He seemed very unsure of himself.
Yes.
Again, I suppose it's just flipping everything, isn't it? So judging the stuff, ball coming over the top of your head, you're running the wrong side. It can just be that tiny little fraction of something that throws you. A player of his quality will be very disappointed in that performance, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can be out of sorts, but you got to kind of pull yourself together in that situation. And if the right thing to do on the pitch is say, hey, Chris, switch with me. I'll get me in the centre. I'm struggling out here. Then that's what you do.
Right.
Rather than plug away at it, and your manager won't be angry at you for doing that if that's the right thing to do for the team. But yeah, he struggled for pretty much the whole game, and it was a bit sad to see in a lot of ways, I think.
But I think on a technical side, why he struggles on the right is, I think when you're playing left or right hand side, on the left hand side, when you're playing the ball inside, it's more of a dangerous pass when you're playing on the outside. And when he's playing on the right, he's using his left foot. Hence, that chance came from him playing a weaker left foot pass to Richards. Whether when he's playing on the right, it's safer for him to go on the outside on his left foot, and he's much more comfortable on his right foot when he's coming inside. So I think that's why he likes to do that, especially for a player who can go both ways. That's what I think the little thing why he's better on the left hand side.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I also think I thought Riyadh was a little nervy, but I do also think that we got to see why Dougie likes him, and probably why Glasner likes him too. He had some nervy moments defensively, but the best attacks out down the left side that I remember come from Riyadh looking ahead and making a line breaking pass, and he made a couple of good ones. So I think we clearly missed Lacroix today.
Yeah.
Richards was decent in the middle, had a couple of moments, but I thought he was the best of the three in that position. I thought he was pretty good. Riyadh looks very promising to me. Once he gets settled defensively, I think he's a talent. I think he definitely looks like a talent.
No, he played some really good passes. In fact, he played one really good pass for Stockport as well, where they nearly got in, which was a hell of a ball around our defence. So
yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah. Lucky he got away with that one, but
yeah.
But yeah.
Again,
do
you know what's funny? It's like, I know people berate Nketiah, but like, let's just take the whole of the season. Let's just go off this game. If Nketiah had played how Sarr played, everyone would say how useless Sarr was, because Sarr was not involved at all today. Didn't affect the game, and it's only because Sarr's been really good previously that he gets away with it. So why is Sarr one of our best performers this season? Why couldn't he perform today? So before anyone starts berating players, Eze wasn't really involved apart from the goal.
No.
So just try not to be so reactive and just be happier in the next round.
Well, I'm curious, Louis, what you thought about this, because I thought Eddie was starved for service, and like you said, with that howler from Lerma, you could see how furious Eddie was. He literally pounds the ground, because if he squares the ball, it's 2-0. It's an easy goal. He was just desperate. But then in the second half, I feel a little bit encouraged by Eddie, because he does start showing for the ball, and then he starts making runs with the ball. It wasn't perfect, but that's a man who is working, in my opinion, that's a man who is working his socks off. He's desperate for a goal.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's where you see the best of Nketiah. Like, did you see there was an article in Athletic this week about how tight all of Palace's games have been this season? I don't think Nketiah thrives in really tight games. He needs, the best game he played was Brighton away, 2-0 up, gaps open. He can exploit spaces. He can run in behind. When it's
weights
like
off his shoulders.
There you go. If there's a low block and they're sitting in, or the game's really tight and it takes, he's got to hold it up and lay it off and do all the nasty little technical things. He doesn't look great. But when there's a bit more space and the game's open, it's much better. And once again, if we're going to carry on being in tight games every week, he's not going to look great and he's not going to get his confidence up.
I think that's really true, and it is a bit of a warning, isn't it? Because that's a 30 million signing that people are looking at and saying it's a lot of money for us. I think these days it's not actually big money for a striker. That's the crazy thing, but it's big money for Palace. It's one of the biggest signings we've ever made, and we're currently not getting the return that we want. But I can see both sides of it. I would definitely say that there were signs that now he's been with us a while. If you gave him a run in the team, there'll be contribution from him. I'm not saying he'd get a ton of goals, but I'm saying there'll be contribution from him because, he is good on the ball. He can hold the ball up. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to make space. Towards the end, where he played the little ball inside for Eze, who then found Devaney, who probably should have scored. That's a nice little move. That's a good little link up. And battle for him is he's not going to get the opportunities to play into that kind of level of thought with everybody else. He's going to get 5-10 minutes at the end of games here and there because Mateta's the man right now. And it's about what he does with that and what he does on the training pitch, because ultimately he's going to have to be patient. If Mateta's out for a couple of games with a knock, he's going to have to come in and be on like he was, second half, latter part of the second half in particular, getting on the ball, plenty of energy, running with it, driving at defenders, creating havoc, creating space. He's not going to be winning headers. He's not going to be, he's obviously scored with a header not that long ago, but you know what I mean? It's, he's gonna have to work really hard. But I really do think, and I know Henry's sitting there waiting to get on as well, but I really do think we have to also look at Stockport today. And not just say as a team they did really well. There were individuals in that team that were excellent. I think their striker Olafe, something like that.
He was the second striker.
Yeah,
Wooten was the first.
Wooten was. He was probably their best player.
He was their captain.
Those two, they were good. Yeah. I think Southern Hales, the centre back, was really impressive. I think he's actually, funny enough, he was pretty good on the ball as well. Took a few of their free kicks. I was quite impressed with him. But I think across the board, they marked really tight. You had Noel in particular, who spent a lot of the game kind of following Eze around and holding him. There was a lot, pretty much every single attacking player was being held. Like until as the ball came near them, there was a Stockport man holding the back of their shirt. It made it really difficult for us to build any rhythm, and we didn't fight for that. We just kind of said, okay, we'll moan at the ref, and I suppose the players that did kind of fight were the ones that stood out for us, and I think Nketiah's second half fought and
I was going to say,
angry.
yeah. That is. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I do think one of the things we saw with Nketiah's second half performance is he was fighting, and he showed. You're right. He's not going to be, hoof it high, and then he's going to win a header, and he's not going to do what JP does. But what he did do, and I thought was interesting, and I did like seeing, is he was getting the ball to feet in the second half, and when he was getting held, he showed some strength. He wasn't just giving the ball up. He was winning fouls and moving us forward. It had for a few moments there, it had a little bit of Jordan Ayew feel to it, which was kind of nice, because we haven't had that. But yeah, there's to me, and I'll let you guys go so you can get Henry on. The final takeaway I had from this is this does it. Not that the board needs any more messages, and we need to get. But look, can we have a photo of Romain Esse right now? So with the with the kit, because I think this was a game where having a creative player cutting in from the right and causing havoc there could have made a big difference. I think we would have. I think we would have really profited from that today, because Sarr is fantastic when we are facing a high line, and he was not, I wouldn't say dreadful, but he didn't have the impact that he has been having, because we played against an opponent that were tight, compact, laying back, and the runs that he has typically made were not really there.
Second time two games in a row. We've our starting 11 has one left-footed player in it.
Is that true? Wow.
Mitchell last game, Riyadh today.
Jeez, that is
That
not
is-
great. That is
yeah.
not great.
There's a-
Complete imbalance.
Yep, for sure. All right, let
Tim,
me
thanks so
let
much.
you go. Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
great. Up the palace. Let's go.
Thanks, man. If you can see there, it just came up. It's just disappeared, but we will be covering the draw live. Apparently, I don't know. I was planning on ordering a Chinese and leaving, but I guess I guess D has told me from the background that I will be covering the draw live. I might just leave you to it, Louis. Don't worry about it, mate. It's fine.
Don't worry. The chat can sit with me while I make dinner.
There you go. Perfect. So let's get Henry on and get his thoughts on the game, and we've got Alex waiting in the background as well. Hello. We don't hear Henry. Unless it's just, yeah, there you go. Now you're off mute. Nope. Nope, still nothing from you, Henry. We'll try again later. Oh, he knew to try again later before I did. Hi, Alex. No, Alex is gone.
Oh god.
Hey, guys. 1 second. I'm trying to mute it.
Your dog is so angry right now.
They were surprised. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was because I was going to get a drink and then I was like, oh, Henry isn't going. Okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the stream and sorry I haven't been on in a while, but suffice to say, wow. That was it was a tough watch. I'm guessing, I'm going to say a lot of the things that other people have said. Hopefully nobody's gotten on Kamada's case today because I think by far he was the best player and maybe one of the only ones that could say for the full 90 he did what he was supposed to. I thought Riyadh and Gahey really concerned me every time they were on the ball today, and it's just very weird. Was Gahey sick this week or something?
No, we were talking about we felt that playing the right side was probably the biggest impact on him. I'm not.
Oh, that's
aware of
true.
any
He normally
sickness.
plays the left side, and
Yeah.
Chalapa plays the right side. It made a big difference. We did look a lot worse in many ways, but yeah, I thought like I couldn't slate Nketiah in the second half, but I thought he was really poor in the first half, and it makes it so that I wonder if him and Sar can ever work together, because one of the ways that our offense works with Sar and Mateta out there is that Mateta can hold off somebody at the halfway point while Sar zooms past him. But when you don't really have that, Sar has to be the outlet. Because I'm not saying Nketiah is poor at it, but today there wasn't, they were really bodying him. They were giving him a really tough time to get anywhere. And so as a result, we actually needed to have Sar be one of the outlets, and that wasn't really even working either. What has been some positive takes, if anyone has had them?
Well, I mean,
we're through, obviously.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think we
no injuries.
Yes, yes, I like that. I was
Jeff Schlupp looked all right.
Hey, was it me or did he look? Was it me or did
our
he look
left
quick?
back, my
look
left
quick today?
back, right there. I'm just kidding.
Trying to secure that move to Millwall.
That's exactly
yeah,
it.
maybe.
Yeah.
The
Coventry.
championship, that's gonna work out for him if he.
Yeah.
No, I think the MLS should be his next move, but who am I to say?
They don't want to. Not your fast food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's hard enough as it is.
I think it's interesting because I'll have more to say probably in the next two games, because I think this was quite clearly after we got sick, just a don't completely lose everybody type game. Trevor wasn't even in the squad. Do we know anything about that?
No, other than to you could speculate by not playing in the FA Cup, he's not cup tied.
Right, that it gives Chelsea an option to take him back or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're dealing with Chelsea. They're a bunch of assholes, so I'm not surprised if that's the reasoning. I still think we keep him, but I can understand dealing with Chelsea is never good. but the other three players, I think, and you could put Kapora in there, but definitely Henderson, Lacroix, and it all has to be because of the illness that went through the squad. Oh, Mitchell was the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
But-
and JP, so 4. Oh,
But what do you make of? I'm going to ask a question of you, Alex, and you as well, Louis, on this one actually, because I was talking at the top of the show. One of the things I want to talk about was team selection today. When I
yeah.
first read the team, I thought to myself, "There's not enough, you know, young players in there. There's not enough. You know, Nketiah starting was an obvious one. You know,
Mhm.
Riyad come in. I'm quite happy about. But then I sort of looked at it, and then I looked at the bench, and I was like, actually, I'm not sure. I was thinking like people like Asher Agbenon.
I thought,
You've got
I thought
yeah,
that they should have sat one of Eze or Sar, just to
yeah,
give like maybe, because I thought Kamado was fine today, like I said, in the middle, and I think he would have been fine out front in one of the 10 spots because, like as we've seen in every single cup game, he hasn't been like he's made one mistake, that's for sure, but other than that, he's been very good. So I would have maybe done that and brought Devaney in as one of the two midfielders, because it looks like if he's resting Decore today, it means that he knows the next few games Decore is going to have to play. I think,
yeah.
and I'm
But
worried about that. So I get why he didn't do that. So
but if you look at what we're trying to do, obviously the importance of the league in particular. I suppose in some ways this might be saying that Glasner considers the cup to be pretty important, which I quite like. The
yeah.
fact that he hasn't really taken too many risks there. Oh, apparently Asher went on loan to Gillingham, and I completely missed that. So
Yes, I
yeah.
I didn't clock that you had said that. I knew that.
Yeah. But that completely explains that. But again, looking at the team, obviously France is not fit. I think Franco Uma's not been fit for a while either. Might just be coming
He
back.
played on Friday, I think,
Yeah.
for the 21. So
So
either
when
way, he's not going to get significant minutes. It looks
yeah,
like, yeah,
and when you start looking at it, like actually there aren't as many fringe players as perhaps I thought. However,
yeah,
I do think when you look at what's coming up, we've got a big game coming up in the week, and
yeah.
we
Somehow,
just
like,
played
yeah,
Eze for 90 minutes in the cup, and you just think, was that? How do I now we're through? Do I feel like? I mean, do we go through if we don't play him? I don't know the answer, but I really worry about that.
Leicester played their full
definitely.
strength team.
Did they?
Yeah. Well,
I
and
suppose they
actually,
have
I
to,
would
didn't
say they took out 3 of their players. And by the way, Harry Winks, woof, what a game from him. He was the only player, like, I've never seen somebody score so low on, like, those statistical websites for a team that won 6-2. He was at fault for both of the goals, for sure. And it's not normal for him. But I
I
thought
mean,
the rest of
he
their
got a
team looked
woof
pretty
from
good.
you, like a woof.
Buonanotte annoys me because obviously Brighton, but also just because he's the type of player that we do need, somebody who will take on guys, and hopefully Essa is going to be that. But yeah, they have a few players that concern me on Leicester. Actually, they concern me a little more than West Ham at the moment because West Ham is, I don't know, there's just something weird there going on. We never play well in Leicester. I feel like we often play well in London Stadium.
We've ever since Harry Maguire left Leicester, we've not been the same. I think we scored like 11 goals in 2 games against him when he was there, but unfortunately we haven't quite reached those heights again. I don't know. We should be thinking about that game and as an easy one to win. But I know I'm slightly distracted. I'm sure everybody is
Yeah,
by
me
the fact
too.
that Arsenal Man United has gone
I
to
can't
penalties.
believe that Arsenal can't get through this game.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's one thing. I would say this United team, who knows, but like red card at the 60th minute, and they still can't. Like that's embarrassing. Like a
was it?
penalty that Odegaard can't, cash in on.
Was it
That's
Gabriel
poor.
Jesus went off injured, didn't he? Looked like he got a nasty injury after we played him into form. So
with Leicester on Wednesday, I saw I'm going to Leicester and West Ham, and I saw the ticket sales for Leicester weren't great. I doubt that Stockport game has
I'm not surprised. It's the middle of the week game. I don't think our and I don't live in England, so I don't want to suppose anything.
But we
But I
we
think
did sell out
midweek
Ipswich though.
games are tough for us.
Ipswich is harder to get to than Leicester on a Tuesday night.
Oh, okay.
And they were
That's-
both on TV.
I got to say though, Ipswich is a great away day. Leicester's not so much. Ipswich,
Yeah.
like their ground.
Yeah, I was in the pub.
literally go
The pub
station.
next
The
to
pub-
it, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's such a good
Yeah.
pub. They just go all out for the away fans. They no shame whatsoever.
But
Play your songs. Yeah.
We've taken quite a low allocation. Normally we sell out Leicester no matter what.
Mm.
Yeah. So is
yeah.
that the miss of the season by the end of the year, you think? I
Depends
couldn't
which you
believe
mean.
we missed. What else could I be talking about?
Munoz had
I was
two
going
bad
to say
ones.
Munoz, but
okay.
I was thinking Havertz.
Maybe it's a Colombian
Open
thing.
goal though. Open
Colombian
goal. All
thing.
he's got to do is not sky it. Like,
I think look, Lerma's obviously scored a screamer for us in the past, but if you're in a position where being played in on the right hand side is a sort of fairly defensive central midfielder, you actually really hope he has. It's not the right player to be in that position, but you also hope he has the intelligence to realise that he's not the right player for that position,
and he
gets the
could
head
have
up.
played Nketiah in, although I thought it was really funny that Nketiah was getting upset about it when it's an open goal he should have shot. But
yeah,
I
think
could get
shooting
Nketiah's frustration too. So.
Shooting's understandable in terms of backing yourself to some degree, but like I say, it's the wrong player in that position. And as I said, Devaney had a similar chance as well.
Trevor Chalobah was
very
omitted. Trevor Chalobah was omitted from the Crystal Palace squad against Stockport because of contractual issues, confirms Oliver Glasner.
Oh, there you go.
Chelsea being Chelsea. I'm not surprised. Owned by Machiavelli himself,
What, as in, like, he's not allowed to play, or he's going back?
Well, that could be. You'd imagine that's potentially both.
He's using it as a bargaining tool. I think it's less of a bargaining tool if we already have him cup tied. So I'm guessing that's what it is.
I think that's definitely it. It's protecting the situation. Like if he plays in the cup, then all bets are off in terms of them using him if they do recall him. It does say. Oh yeah, it strongly suggests that they are at the very least considering ending that loan if they have the right to do so. From what I understand, the player
Havertz missed
again.
That's what he gets for diving.
Yeah. There you go. I have mixed feelings. I just hate Man United so much that I have mixed feelings. But it's difficult. Game changes, doesn't it? People of my vintage don't like Man United.
Who's your ideal person to step in at right centre back? I personally think Lerma's probably the best person to fit in there.
Yeah, because Klein doesn't have it anymore. Klein had a poor game today.
I was reading. I can't remember. It might have been on the BBS or something like that during the game, but someone was saying actually when we keep talking about Lerma as a great option as a right centre back, but he's actually only played 7 games, in that position. So should we really be thinking like that? It's a similar thing for Klein. They did a job, but when you actually go back and look at the games, the results weren't tremendous. They just did well.
We don't have enough
in an unexpected run.
I remember him against Salah.
Option.
He was unbelievable against Salah, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he's great in the air. That's what it is as well, and he brings a calmness. Obviously, if you're playing out from the back, he's not the best passer, but like if you're going on comparing him to a defender's passing, his passing is much better than Richards, but way off Wharton's.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm comfortable with Richards in there. I'll be comfortable with a fully fit, match fit Riyad in there. Looking at him today, even though it's still early days for him, I'll be comfortable with, stop gaps in there until the end of the season.
Matt Turner, are you going to be comfortable with him or never? He was fine today, but he did have the one fumble and he made the huge save.
It's such a hard thing, though, isn't it? As the reserve keeper, you're going to come in for a cup game if your team happens to do that, and you just, he had a clean sheet today. And there's one amazing save. There were definitely some aberrations. Some of the handling wasn't so great. If you're going to come for a cross, get there.
Definitely.
But
Do you think we should? Do you think we should be using our Premier League loan spot then on someone?
if we do lose Chalobah,
Yeah,
I 100% know we
definitely.
will. We will use that loan spot. Who for?
Yeah,
I
it'll
don't
probably
know.
be on a midfielder, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time. It sounds like D might be coming in here too.
No, he's just lurking. He messaged me to tell me he's just being lazy. He's not coming on. So we're
Oh,
just
okay.
gonna.
So not today,
He's-
but for the drawing thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
we'll just
I'm hoping for Doncaster away for you guys. How's that?
yes, that would be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one,
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks, Alex. Good to hear
Yeah,
from you
take it
again,
easy.
mate. So you take care. So we've got to now pretend that we aren't watching penalties whilst you're not even trying to pretend, are you, Louis? That's the thing.
Sorry, yeah. I'm waiting for the FA Cup. The best thing about the FA Cup is the draw and
it really is, yeah.
anything but the game.
We'll see how it goes. It's not going to be too long now, by the looks of things. It's
Everyone in the chat, put who you want, home or away. Who does everyone want?
So I like the Doncaster suggestion. I just want the lowest ranked team in the cup every time, or Brighton at home. You know, I just that's just where I go with it. But
yeah, Mill at home might be tasty.
Are they still in?
They got Dagenham. They got Dagenham and Redbridge tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Xerxes to put them through. Go.
So they're through, yeah.
Bye, Arsenal.
Yeah, well, that's nice. I'm glad Arsenal are out, and they're certainly usually a stronger team than Man United. So that's good for us in our cup run. It does mean, of course, that if we do get to the final, Man United would still be a potential opponent at this stage, and they have ruined our lives twice, and it still hurts both times. So there you go. But we should obviously, now that game has come to conclusion, we should be getting the draw fairly soon. Andy's saying that we play better against stronger sides. I still want the weak sides, but I know what you mean. Suggestion for Ninja wants the Weed. Dan wants Plymouth at home. Red wants Millwall. Daniel Edwards wants Man United at home.
I always go for I think I've done about half of the whole EFL, like half of the league. So I always try and go for a team that haven't been to their ground. So I'm trying to look. Exeter away.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Does Joe Whitworth play for them? That's the question.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah. You're right, Andy. It was 3 times the replay. The goal from Lee Martin, who never did anything else in his whole career. Yeah. History would have changed there. Oh, D, how are you doing?
Sorry, my audio's probably going to be messed up. Let me put my headphones in. I'm doing good. Actually, let me just jump back out and then I'll come back in. It's like a little spoiler alert. I'm back in 2 seconds.
You know what, I can't say what I want to say, because we have to keep up the kind of pretense that I respect D in any way, despite the fact that he joined what was a podcast at the time as a 14-year-old who lost his shoe. That was his entry into this thing, and now look at him, media personality.
He had the cheek to say he's never watched the Stockport highlights. I had to send him the video.
Really?
He's never watched.
That's his kind of thing. He just wings it. He doesn't even try.
Yeah.
He's sitting there on his phone right now. So you can't see him in the background. He's just sitting there on his phone. Here's Patrick to put things right. Let's get Patrick on ahead of D.
Yeah.
I've put him on. I don't think he was ready. Sorry, Patrick. I'll take you back off again. He's not even got his camera on. That was probably uncalled for. But yeah, so a few more suggestions there. Exeter would be great from Red. Lower league to allow for more rotation would be nice, says Kyle. But of course, we had a little chat earlier and we're not even sure exactly who we would rotate.
I got the full quotes from Glasnow. It's not easy. It's not easy to explain. It was a contractual issue. We had to take care. I'm not a lawyer. I was told it wasn't clear whether he could play. It was best for him not to play. I found out yesterday evening it was internal. There was no contact from Chelsea. I know he wants and we want him to stay. but there are still 19 days to go in the transfer window. I know Trevor and Mark want to stay. We have to keep the squad together. Trevor is expected to be available at Leicester on Wednesday.
Interesting. So we've made that decision. So it's a kind of... It's interesting because I suppose when you start thinking about the loan situation, we might be giving ourselves options as well if the worst happens. So we're just protecting our interests. But the idea that there was no contact at all from Chelsea seems a little off to me. But what do I know?
I've just seen that. I'm happy because karma goes back around, you know. Arsenal out of the FA Cup, you know, when they scored that offside goal against us in the Carabao Cup. And today they dived again, cheated again, and they're out. So it's happy days. Palace are through to the next round. And thankfully, I do not have to talk about that game.
We did an amazing job, right? We've done incredible work.
We had to string that one out.
I was there. Do you know what happened? I was there, and I've never ever seen this. Probably because I don't sit in the main stand. I sat in the main stand for the first time, and there was someone next to me. I looked to my right in the 83rd minute, and they were sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
They fell asleep. Fell asleep.
That's fair.
Like a torture at times to watch it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. I was at the ground, so it might have been a bit different at home. But we had a few opportunities. But despite that, it just felt like a chore today. It just felt like a chore watching that game. But like, I don't really care about the performance. We're through to the next round. We rotate to the side. The Chalobah news is quite big. We'll cover the Chalobah news is quite big because Patrick, you mentioned it, didn't you?
Patrick broke it earlier.
Oh, I did, but you all didn't believe me in the chat. Remember,
I just wanted you to reveal your source.
Not you. A certain Stan didn't believe me.
Boy, oh boy.
All right.
That is crazy though about Chalobah.
Who do we all want in the next round?
Anyone awful. So Palace versus Palace. I'll take that. I don't know. Doncaster, anyone. Just anyone.
Millwall, Dagenham Redbridge. That'll be good. Millwall.
Yeah, Dagenham Redbridge, Millwall. Yeah. SA against his old side. By then it should be complete.
Here we go.
I'll
be honest.
Breaking news. Yeah. Is he signed?
Yeah, he hasn't signed, but
they need to do something after that performance. I don't want to see any what's the all access. I don't want to see any of that.
I'm trying to think what's their angle going to be for the announcing SA as a signing. It's going to be a kind of him walking across like Bermondsey or something.
Getting the train from South Bermondsey to the southeastern train to Selhurst from South Bermondsey.
Yeah, nailed on it. Yeah.
I'll be honest. We got bigger problems than that because the Chalobah thing for me is quite big.
Did you hear the last bit that we were just saying that Louis said the quotes from Glasner saying that Chelsea hadn't said anything. That's the thing that's now confused the hell out of me. I basically feel like I don't believe it, but let's say it's true.
Yeah.
And Chelsea said nothing. What's our thoughts on that? You know, what are we thinking? We're just keeping that as a viable situation for them. Is it? It just seems crazy, really, doesn't it?
It makes no sense.
Show them that we don't need him. Take him back.
Yeah, there you go. Oh dear.
It makes no sense to me.
For me, going forward, I'm done with Chelsea. I'm tired of their loans. We make their players better and then they take them back. There's never an option to buy. This is an absolute joke. So for me, don't do it. Just don't. Just forget that club, man. They tried to steal Elise from us. I'm just done with Chelsea as a club. They just work really strangely, and this is not a good situation. And we bring a player in. They didn't want the guy. We make him good, and then they want him back. I mean, it's a joke, man. Seriously. So for me, get lost. Get lost.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I just think. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it too much, but I think it's a big issue for us. I genuinely do think that because do we go sign another centre back? Do we go with Riyad and Richards together? Because if we sign another centre back, do we even have the money for that? I mean, we're just going to sign 2 players. So it's like, what happens from here going forward? And look, I said it all along. Some people that have watched this as well can probably tell by my tone about Chalobah. I don't think he's had, I don't think he's been 10 out of 10 for us. I don't think he's been awful for us, but I've said it. Like, so far, since he's played for Palace, I'm not, like, I wouldn't be upset if we didn't sign him on a permanent deal. I didn't feel that way towards Loftus-Cheek. I didn't feel that way towards Conor Gallagher as well. I just feel like we're in the market. There's better options out there. So I don't think Chalobah.
I think
32.
I think so. Yeah, 32. It said, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so yeah, like I think it'll be a short-term miss, but it's not like a long-term. Oh no, Chalobah's gone back to Chelsea. For me, it makes no sense for Chelsea to recall him as well. The draw's about to start, by the way. Oh, we're number 32.
Man United.
What?
Man United first out.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I thought you said we had Man United.
You're
as well.
exactly. You scared me. Just yeah.
Man United, Leicester.
Okay.
Interesting.
You're ahead of me. I don't know how. Or probably because you got the actual thing I'm watching on iPlayer. Man United, Leicester. Okay, that's good. 2 Premier League teams are out. Let me see.
Leeds at home.
Who? Leeds at home.
Leeds,
Oh, no.
Leeds v Millwall or Dagenham and Redbridge.
Oh,
That's
that was a
my
big tie
draw.
back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, Leeds and Millwall's going to be that get
Yeah.
ugly. That could get ugly. Yeah.
Brighton.
That is a tie.
Brighton.
Here it comes.
Oh no.
Here
I
it
don't want
comes.
No,
Wow.
thank you.
Chelsea.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes,
that. Love that.
That's good so far. That's good so far.
Like that.
That's good. Brighton against Chelsea. We'll take that. We'll
12.
take that.
I'd literally just got to the point
Preston
where they
or
went,
Charlton.
You?
Preston or
Preston or
Charlton.
Charlton. I'll take either of those.
Yeah, I wish one of them stayed. But it's
Wycombe
fine.
Wanderers.
Oh, well, okay. Interesting. Gives them something for the 5th round.
Exeter City.
This will be the one you
Still
called.
wanna
At home, I want them.
away. No.
Who have they got?
Nottingham Forest.
I'm starting
love
Leeds.
that.
I'm starting Leeds. So I'm looking at the numbers. Well, who's there? Who do we want?
Coventry City. I'll take that. Rico Arena.
Yeah.
No,
Big
at home,
following.
at home.
Oh, damn.
I want a home tie. Who have they got?
Ipswich.
Ipswich. All right, you're ahead of us, so you have to call it out.
Yeah, I'm miles
Yeah,
ahead.
You have to call it out now.
You're spoiling
You
it,
can't.
you're spoiling
You
it.
can't hide away. You have to call it out as you see it.
Sorry,
You're ahead.
Blackburn.
Yeah.
Blackburn, yeah. Don't want to go Blackburn.
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh,
Yeah, I was not going to go anyway, so I'll be honest. But I didn't want Palace to go Blackburn.
what do we want to avoid that's left?
Mansfield or Wigan.
I'll take both those in. That's a horrible away trip. But
That's
Oh, 31.
Fulham. Who's that?
Fulham.
yeah.
City and Liverpool are still there, and Tottenham are still there as well.
No, I got it. Leighton Orient or Derby would be perfect.
26.
Oh.
Birmingham City.
I'll take that. It's an
That's not
interesting
bad.
trip.
Nah,
No.
they're pretty good though.
Who have they got?
League One.
Newcastle United.
Okay.
Newcastle.
Ooh,
You're making me like nervous. I'm like, who have they got? Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle gone.
Just building tension. It's fine. You know.
Plymouth Argyle.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Faced them already recently.
It's a fun trip.
remember Mateta hat trick? Remember?
Liverpool.
Oh,
Oh, so Liverpool are gone. Liverpool are out.
we're going to get
We're gonna-
Spurs, aren't we? We're going to get Spurs. I'm going to hate.
Or
you.
Man City?
No. At home. Leighton Orient at home.
Everton.
No,
That'd be horrible.
Oh,
no.
No.
Bournemouth.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Ooh.
That's good. Another Premier League tie. We can breathe. Everton, no, please.
Aston Villa.
Oh, please no. That would be the
Again.
2 cups. That would be.
Again.
Get City or Liverpool. Who have they got?
Tottenham.
Oh,
wow.
yes!
Nice.
Yes!
Interesting.
Like that.
Okay, Liverpool are gone.
Southampton.
Tottenham, City's only there.
Yeah, I'll take Southampton.
Take them the way they're playing.
Anyone at home?
But not away though. But too late now anyway.
Doncaster, that's who I want at home.
Burnley.
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 Okay.
Wow.
Burnley. It's a away game. No. Who have they got?
It's going
Leighton
all right.
Orient or Derby.
Yes,
Come on.
please.
Please take that. Please.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
No. Man City.
Oh,
City.
they're
Oh,
Mendy's
wow,
gone.
they were still in
City's
there.
gone. Okay. So
You know what? Whoever's left.
Cardiff, Stoke or Doncaster.
Yeah, you can't complain.
Doncaster
about
at home.
Doncaster.
That's my dream.
Doncaster.
You
Doncaster
can't
at
complain at
home.
home.
Doncaster
at
will
home.
play
Oh no.
Crystal Palace.
Hey,
Hey!
I'll take
I'll say that. Even if it's away from home,
Done.
I'm taking
Come
that.
on.
I'll
We
take
did
Yeah.
that. We played them in the FA Cup 4th round. Max Meyer scored.
Yes, I'll take
Yeah,
that. I'll
League-
take that. I'll
League
take
2
that.
opposition. I'll take
Yes,
it.
yes.
Love
The
a
lowest,
trip to
the lowest
Donny.
team.
Love
The
a
lowest
trip.
I
team
don't
in the
want
competition.
Doncaster. I wanted this. It would be better if it was at home, but I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be greedy. That's a good draw. That's a good draw. We'll go
You know,
Doncaster.
League 2 side, it's a great draw, good draw.
Nah, look,
Good
it would have
draw.
been better at home, but that's
No,
me
of
being
course it
greedy
is,
at
but
this
come
point,
on.
like,
Probably better away anyway. Probably better away anyway.
Guys,
Oh, that's
with
good.
that, I've got to leave you because I've got to go and get my Chinese. All right.
All right,
I
cool.
am,
All
bro.
right,
Good to see
we're
you,
gonna
buddy.
wrap up anyway soon.
All right.
Take care.
Take it easy,
Okay,
everyone.
yeah.
See you later.
I've
Doncaster.
been Doncaster
I
twice.
love that draw. I'll
I've been
take
there
it.
twice.
That's a very good draw. Get in.
Been there twice.
Get in. How have you seen Palace win there?
Yeah, 2-0. The first time I went was the season where we just stayed up. The season before the Sheffield Wednesday one, and we drew 0-0, and it meant we stayed up. I think it was the second or third to last game of the season, and that's when Palace started singing the Three Little Birds song by Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah.
That's when we first started singing it.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's
Hey
a good
guys,
draw.
seriously, looking at the draw, right? You can't complain, right? You got Brighton, Chelsea. One of those two will be gone, and you've got Man United, Leicester. Leicester aren't any good, but they'll be gone. There are some good ties where at least one Premier League side is going to get knocked
Guys,
out. Listen, side.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, Louis.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, Lewis, take care.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah,
later.
quickly looking at that, Patrick. You got
Yeah, I'm looking at.
so you got either United, Leicester out, Premier League side.
Right.
You got Brighton, Chelsea. You got Villa, Tottenham.
Yep.
So what else? What else we got? We got Villa, Tottenham. Is there any other? Bournemouth, Everton.
Yep. There's two
Bournemouth,
Premier League
Everton,
sides.
I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, like
No,
there's
you-
quite a few Premier League sides that are 100% getting knocked out, and that is, of course, if there's no other upsets along the way as well. I'll take that draw. I'll take that draw.
You have to.
The fact that
You
one
have
of Brighton or Chelsea are going out, the fact of one of Aston Villa, Tottenham are guaranteed to go out.
Yep.
We'll see with the others as well, but Everton, Bournemouth, we'll see what happens with. It's a decent draw. It should be played on Saturday as well, I believe, right?
It is. It's the weekend of the 8th of February. So look, you got Everton, Bournemouth, right? Villa, Spurs. You've got Man City will probably, but Man City at least got a away draw. They got Leighton or Derby. They'll win, but at least it's a away game. When they can't take it that easy. So, but yeah, listen, someone getting knocked out. Birmingham could beat Newcastle away because Birmingham's decent side in League One. So yeah. Listen, I'm not. That's a good draw. Doncaster away, a good chance to get to the fifth round. You can't. If we don't get a fifth round, it's our fault. No, but you know what I mean. You got to be good. Doncaster away. Come on.
Today is a good day, man. Today is a good day. Today is a good day, especially after the other results as well. We'll take the Doncaster coming through, and also, you got Arsenal out, which I'm happy about. Best result of the day, exactly.
Let me tell you something. I'm AFTV all day today because that meltdown's gonna be epic.
AFTV. We got Lee Gunner. Like he's gonna probably just
that guy today, and he's a Havertz guy.
Oh,
well,
he's gonna
today.
Be,
Today, when he's on that show, if he shows up, he don't show up and they lose. Cook him, Lee.
No, I'm not talking about. You're talking about Gunnar Lee.
Yeah,
Lee Gunner.
I don't Lee Gunner. I don't watch that guy. That guy's a clown. He's always negative anyway.
He's come out though. The truth has come out though. Like whoever he said, they're out of FA Cup, they're out of Carabao Cup. But anyways, I don't care about Arsenal. We'll talk about that off air. Calling now Crystal Palace FA Cup winners. Doncaster away. I think everyone's happy. Happy.
Yeah.
I'm happier seeing that draw. Happy with the result today as well. It's just the Chalobah one. Chalobah news is a bit weird.
Yeah. Again, see, I don't know any information, but he's gone, man. There's no reason for them to do that contractually at the last minute like that. That's weird.
How is he available on Wednesday?
Well, it's a league game, but my point is why they don't want a cup time? Because they want to call him back. I'm not saying he's going back Wednesday, but he's going back before the window closes. They'll probably come back on the last day to spite us, so we can't get a replacement in. But again, we don't need a replacement right now. Because they're Chelsea, bruv. They're Chelsea. Chelsea's weird, man.
All the other big clubs ain't like that when it comes to like transfer dealings. They're just strange. I don't even understand about the Chalobah going back. They didn't want him. You didn't have a preseason, the guy.
I don't understand either. I don't understand it because he's not going to play that much there anyway. And I know the Chelsea kid, he grew up at Chelsea Academy. But why? To me, he's making a mistake going back because they're going to treat him the same way they treated him when he was here. He won't hardly play, and he'll wish he was at Palace. But again, it's Chelsea has that right, but it's just to do that at the last minute because Glasner said on Friday or Saturday he was going to play, and all of a sudden he's not even in the lineup. That was just weird, man. That's weird.
Maybe cup
anyway,
time.
whatever.
Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason.
No, definitely they want to keep him just in case they get further in the cup. No doubt they do want a cup time, but
it's just I'm just worried about that. Do you reckon we need to sign another player then?
I honestly no, not at that. I'd rather get a left wing back. Today showed me today left wing back is number one priority because Klein can't play it. He can play right side. He can't play left side.
Yeah, I did say that in the preview. He's not left wing back. He doesn't have the left foot like that. So
get SA in as a number 10 option. But no, I'm honestly, I know it wasn't great today because they haven't played together, Riyad, Gahey, and Richards. But I'm comfortable with Riyad, Richards, and Klein as a backup. You got Laquan and Gay. So I have no problem with either putting Riyad or Richards in whenever they have to play. I don't, like you said before, Chalobah's a good player. He's not like so great we're gonna miss him. He's been very good. If we can keep him, great. But to me, he's not gonna be that big of a miss when you have Richards and Riyad. He's not for the rest of the season. If they get injured, then we have big problems, obviously, right? But last year, glad to show you can put Klein back there, Lerma in a big, massive pinch, you can play back there. We've got 4 centre backs if he leaves, man. We'll be good. 4 go into 3. We got 1 extra one every time. We're good, man. With 2 guys that can play in a pinch. I wouldn't spend money on it. They're gonna get plus right now, D, knowing that he goes back and you have to pay money, they're gonna charge us a premium any team for a centre half. You know what I mean?
We just can't afford that.
Wait till the summer. Wait till the summer. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully it doesn't go. I have a bad vibe. It just doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't feel
especially
right.
when Glasgow's coming out saying that publicly, and it's all confusing as well.
Exactly.
Contractual issues means, you know, that to me sounds like he's getting recalled. That's what he's saying. There's no other ways of like suggested it. Like he's getting recalled. The best case scenario out of this, in my opinion, is that he isn't getting recalled, and the situation was that he could be getting recalled, and he hasn't been confirmed yet, and they didn't want to cup time. That's the best case scenario I can get out of this. Like they're still thinking about it, and they didn't want to put him there. But still, that's still a threat.
Weird. Yeah.
It's weird. It's still a threat. Then they're seriously considering it. Then, like it's not a joke. They're seriously reconsidering it if they had a similar situation to that. But yeah, look, when it comes to Chalobah long-term signing, I'm not fussed.
Me either.
It's my short-term concerns more than anything. It's my short-term concerns more than anything. But you know, we move on. We move on regardless of what. Let's just bring in SA, and then hopefully,
and a wing back. And
then I guess we can focus on centre back. Maybe we can find a loan player or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point, D. Maybe a loan.
But then I don't know right now if you ask me who that loan player is going to be. But look, people, we're going to wrap up here. It's been an interesting stream. We had Hambo and Lou doing the match reaction, and then also we reacted to the draw as well. So there's quite a few reactions all over the place. Happy draw, Doncaster away. We're in FA Cup. That's what that matters. But I'll be honest, that game to me wasn't exciting, and to the person next to me who fell asleep. But who cares about that? We're through to the next round. We're going to be back for player ratings, people. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. But until next time, up the Palace.